Hey there YouTube, this is SJM4306 and I have another video on my 3D printer that I built here from a kit. So I've done some upgrades on this unit. Namely speaking, I did a little bit of strain relief. I forget what this was for. It wasn't really for this application. I just sort of crazy glued it on there. But it adds a little bit of strain relief, and I moved the cords. Originally they were going through the side here, and it was kinking the wire as it was coming around. So I just kind of loosely bundled it to the back here. So you can see there's a little bit more slop in the cable now, so it's not gonna, kink up too badly. This fan here, the wiring actually broke. There's a splice halfway up the cable, and one of the wires broke. So this fan wasn't on, and I was experiencing weird problems with the filament getting stuck because it was actually, the heat break was actually heating up enough to partially melt this, and when it cooled, the slug of plastic got stuck in the heat break, so it was really hard to remove, and I had to keep disassembling the hot end. Finally realized that this fan was off, so I redid the wiring on that, so this fan works now. One of the blades is damaged and it vibrates, so I might actually replace this in the future. Big upgrade that I did was I put some warm white LED strips. I have this old strip that I used to use for some shelf lighting. So I cut 2 strips of it, one set of 9 kind of for underneath this area, so it illuminates whatever it's heating. So this will make for some really cool videos, and this is like warm white colors, so it's kind of aesthetically pleasing actually. So while it's printing, I can set up a long time exposure camera that'll capture whatever it's printing, and you can easily see now without using a flashlight or any external lights. As well as this strip right underneath here kind of lights up the entire bed. So you can see that I can do some really cool videos now of me printing out things in sped up time. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to doing that. Another upgrade that I've done is the original wire that it came with was actually really thin. So I ended up, this is the AC wiring, which is kind of pitiful. And yeah, so I wanted to get rid of that. I got nice bulky wiring. I think I pulled this from like a vacuum cleaner or a hair dryer, so this can definitely take some current. And I rewired things so that not everything is being distributed from the power board. The lighting is on a separate rail directly from the power supply, so it doesn't dim nearly as much when the bed is on full tilt and the hot end is on full tilt. So it does dim a little bit, but not so much so that it's unusable. This is at its brightest settings because the hot end and the bed are off pretty much. They're just cooling now. So yeah, those are the main upgrades. I don't think I did anything else really. I'm going to actually tidy up some of the wiring eventually. I'm going to print a little box or something, or maybe if I can carefully cut like little switch mounts so I can actually turn on and off the lighting and then the entire printer independently. That'll be neat, so I can leave this plugged in then in that case. Another thing that I'm looking to do is I want to get, this is just 2-prong, there's no ground protection lead on this wire right now, so I'm looking to find kind of a beefy IEC connector, cut off the end, or maybe even wire a socket so I can actually properly ground this, because right now if there's an electrical fault, it's potential that this metal chassis could become live, or other parts of the printer could be electrified, and that would be very dangerous. So I need to definitely do that. That's kind of first priority so I can properly make this safe. But as for now, everything works and we're all good to go, so I can definitely make do with this, make some videos of me printing out some stuff in kind of sped up time now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are getting into 3D printing as well, there's a lot of really cheap 3D printers that are coming out of China. They're kind of build-it-yourself kits, and they're not perfect when you first get them. You have to tweak them. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. For the price point of less than like around $200 or less, you're gonna have to tweak them and whatnot. So there's no getting around that. But if you're handy, then I would definitely advise getting a 3D printer and playing around with it. It's one of the funnest things I've ever done. There's just so much that you can print and modify. Everything's modifiable. I'll eventually do a mod for the Z-axis so I can make it easier to adjust. Right now I have to keep unscrewing and screwing it in order to adjust the Z-axis, but I found a printable mod that allow you to make an adapter piece so that you can just use a set screw, like a single set screw, and you can even twist it by hand if you want to adjust that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, expect some really cool 3D printer videos in the future. So let's pull this guy off now. So it seems that the lighting, I don't know, it looks fine in real life, but I'm guessing the lens on this camera phone that I'm using it's oversaturating, and also probably the fact that I'm using natural kind of clear white filament. It doesn't help as much as if I printed in a darker filament. It would show up a lot better, but oh well. So let's just pull this off. Just want to get the corner with a razor blade, and then you can kind of work. There we go. And she pulls right off. And just move this. Yeah, be careful when you're working with razor blades, obviously. But, yep. Here she is. I just printed with a little raft here, so that, you know, it actually stuck down, because the first one that I tried printing actually came off partway through the print and it did not succeed. So yeah, you can see pretty nicely actually. There's you know, barely a little bit of wobble on the Z-axis there. The overhangs from it printing are pretty nice actually. You know, there's just a tiny little bit of stringy underneath and whatnot, but yeah, pretty nice. And I love printing in this clear filament because you can take things like a flashlight and kind of, you know, backlight it or whatnot. So that looks pretty cool. You can see that. The finish on that. Just got to peel off this bottom layer and we're good to go. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.